Susie's good. Okay, Susie's good, Karen's good. Okay, well, good evening. I call to order the meeting of Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. To order, I ask all who have not signed in, please do so. Please turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices, and please conduct any private conversations in the hallway or outside. This meeting room is equipped with the inductive loop hearing assistance system. You'll be able to hear conversations through the microphones and hearing aids with a T-switch. Emergency exits can be found to your right and to your left. And I want to note, as we always do, this meeting is also live streamed via YouTube with text commenting available. At this time, if you please join the town board in a salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Just a couple of reminders. The next town board meeting is Monday, the 23rd this month. Reminder that early voting will start on October 28th and end on Sunday, November the 5th. Election day is Tuesday, November 7th from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And that there is a Veterans Appreciation Luncheon from 12 to 2 here in the main meeting room on the 10th?
November 9th.
The 9th. The 9th of November. My apologies. Okay, board members, September 25th, town board meeting minutes. Comments or questions? Hearing-
Moved.
Okay, first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
And we'll ask our town clerk when she's ready to introduce manifest number 19.
Manifest 19 in the amount of $476.76 has been reviewed by the Victor Town Board with the following accounts charged: General Townwide, General Outside Village, Parkland Trust Fund, Highway Townwide, the lighting districts of Fishers, Brookwood Meadows, High Point, Cobblestone, Quail Ridge, Rolling Meadows, Stone Lay, and Legacy at the Fairways.
Thank you, Karen. So as we do at every meeting, we try to just give a snapshot of where some of these expenses are earmarked for. So we have payment number 1 to D. Clark Distributors for town road projects, payment to Gomez and Sullivan for the Boughton Park engineering, and there is a breakdown. There is a portion for both East and West Bloomfield as part of this. Payment to Heidelberg Materials, materials for a number of town projects. Payment to Integrated System for October hosting of IT. Payment to Victor Central Schools for the busing for the summer recreation program, and then payment to Village or construction for town road projects. The total of the above-mentioned expenditures is $210,701.39. Total town expenditures minus the previous mentioned expenditures equals $38,775.37. Town board members, any questions on this evening's manifest number 19? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve the payments hereof.
So moved. Second.
Second by Councilman Kohovic. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, oh, there he is, Mr. David Toth. You're right up here, sir.
Yes, I wonder if to be on the town board, you need to be the father of a Victor athlete. Baseball players maybe, but
There's a few.
we've been living on Log Cabin Road for about 25 years, my wife and I, and we raised our kids there, loved Victor schools. But we've been on a well, our end of Log Cabin Road, and I've recently spent quite a bit of time talking with all our neighbors on that street, and people are struggling with all the well hassles. I don't know if any of you have been on wells before, but we've had a couple nightmares lately, my wife and I and several of our neighbors. And I also have a disease called Parkinson's. I'm fine, but well water is one of the culprits that causes that, and my wife is extremely excited about the possibility of running water down the rest of the log cabin. It's on Benson Road, which is about 4 or 5 houses from where we are, and I think it's run on the other end of log cabin up to the thruway, but we don't have it. Again, I spent time with all of our neighbors, and I've got 10 yeses and 1 no so far. So people are very interested in the town considering running water for us.
Well, Dave, thank you very much, certainly for doing some legwork in advance. And I will tell you, thank you. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do the research last week, but I was able to today. So the town board is drowning in the amount of paperwork I've provided them with, and even our attorney, who's told me by the conclusion of the meeting he'd have it all memorized, but
Great.
the jury's out on that anyways. But, so, I wanted to do more research on, because I think originally, and again, so when a developer comes before this board and says, hey, listen, we'd like to extend sewer, we'd like to extend water, that's always on their dime to do that.
Sure.
Except for running up to each individual house and
Right.
stuff like that. And I think that was what originally was the intent, the thought here as well, but it's my understanding, and again, I'm going to have the attorney look at that, and I know I spoke with our engineer last Thursday, we met, and it seems like it would be on the town to run it up to in front of each and every house and stuff
Okay.
like that. So, again, I'm going to clarify that 100%.
Great.
But I want you to know that that's kind of where we are. I did,
Okay.
I also brought up, because we surveyed, you'll recall, you were a yes vote a number of years ago. So,
On water?
for water.
Yeah.
Yep, and unfortunately, at that point, your area, it's kind of like the donut hole right now.
Yeah.
With no water. And certainly, I remember years ago when we talked to residents, whether it was hard water, I'm going through coffee pots, I'm going through.
Really hard water, yeah.
Salt for water softeners, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got Lisa and Wayne here that are also on our street, and they thank you for coming. Appreciate it, you guys.
And I did also, because Monroe County, that's where our water comes from, and also they do all the operate. So what we did, we do have a lease agreement. We turned it over to them a number of years ago. I think it was
Okay.
in 2012 maybe.
Yeah.
And they oversee our water department, or water today. And,
I called them.
So we would, and again, on us, would be certainly building it up to the Monroe County standards, which I know they will certainly provide us with that information. And also, they would bless it whether or not it's hydraulically feasible to extend, built to Water Authority standards. We have to get through, from an engineering standpoint, unit pricing, and what it will cost per foot for us and stuff like that.
Okay.
Steve, I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there anything else we talked about on Thursday that I'm missing here?
Well, I think we'd want to talk through with Kevin the process. We would anticipate this would follow a petition process to extend the the boundary of the current water benefited area. But it's been a while since we've done that, so I'd have to bone up on that and want to certainly review that with Kevin.
So the town would petition on for the benefit of the residents, or the residents
No.
petition the town?
The way I anticipate this would be a resident action, that they would
Petition the town.
They would develop a
then we-
petition to the town board for the extension of the water benefited area.
So Dave's put together a list of names, where their stance is. And so is it something a petition that we would create, that they hand carry, or is it something similar to this? And I know you can't see it from here.
Yeah, well, certainly that's the beginning of it. We'd want to look at the properties and see if there's any gaps and understand, who would need to be talked to kind of round that petition out and make sure we got the support, the local support for it. But who does the paperwork or not, I suppose I don't think it would be very difficult. We could certainly assist if called upon, but it may be just a simple action of developing a petition that interested residents sign with their names and their addresses, and then we count them that way.
So this is actually the first consideration for residential extension. You know,
Really? Wow.
based on residents coming to the town board. Like I said previously,
Builders.
developers,
Yeah.
it's been on them, part of their site plan
Well, on
approvals.
Benson, they had that big addition, big neighborhood that was created. I think that's
Correct.
probably why it ran.
Yep, and Mr. Smith at that time really wanted water. He felt he had a type of house he was building that people would like, that public water. And so Mr. Smith wrote the town a check to help push that along as well.
Maybe you'll write one up for us. Probably not.
Now, Dave, did you just not get a hold of Greg Holtz and the rest of them?
Yeah, they haven't been home the past couple days.
Okay.
When Greg, and there was one, let's see, Tony, I think Tony also was not home. So,
So let's, at this point, appreciate you coming here, wife and residents as well, and we'll ask Kevin to do some research and put something in writing to the town board members, and then we can map out, working with our engineer, what the next steps are here.
got a little feel from somebody on cost of taxing. Our taxes would go up certainly for this.
Yeah, so, great question. So, we extend, so currently today, in fact, tonight we'll be setting a public hearing for our next meeting when the assessment roll comes out for those who live in a lighting district, those who live in the sewer district, those in the water district, okay? So you would now be included in the water district.
Right.
So today, you pay zero, okay?
Right, yeah.
Now, if we run the water line, it goes by your house, you choose to hook up, okay?
Right.
You're gonna pay for that hookup fee, that's on you all day, okay? But you will now be included in the water benefited area, okay? The two of you decide, listen, we don't want to hook up, okay? So you save that money, you're still gonna be taxed, it is at a lower amount, okay? And that's the way we structured this back in 10 or 12, because we just felt at some point, it is a benefit area. And if you chose to not hook up today, that's fine, but maybe if you decided to sell the house or the water system tanked on you, you have that luxury and stuff like that. So we see it as a benefit to you as a homeowner.
And I think we're allowed to run that water from the street up ourselves, correct, if we want to?
Well, basically, I think the town hooks it up, or the Monroe County Water Authority would hook it up.
Oh, they
I think
do?
You could have a
Okay.
private contractor, dig the ditch, bring it up and all that, but I think Monroe County Water Authority, I think,
They would hook it up.
overlooks and inspects to make sure it's getting hooked up right, Mark?
Yeah, so whoever installs the water main would put the service into the right of way, and then the resident would hook up to the curb box and run it to the house
Right.
on their dime.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Mark, part of that, and Steve, and Kevin, part of that would be us getting easements from all these residents as well or is it because it's within our right-of-way, we can dig that up?
Yeah, typically you'd run the main in the right-of-way, and the services would go up to the edge of the property line and the right-of-way and stop, and that's where the homeowner would pick up the extension of that to the house.
Yep.
Did you folks want to add anything, Wayne? Okay.
Introduce yourself, because people are watching, so.
I'm Wayne Vollinger. We live on Log Cabin Road. The quality of our water is really bad. We have high iron content and bacteria in the water, so it's a lot worse than Dave may have conveyed. So I don't know if that would make a difference in determining issues. We sent a letter a year ago, or an email inquiring about water, and we didn't know this was the process to do it, so.
And I think there was, and again, the originator, whoever read that letter probably thought, it was part of a development usually, because that's what has been the norm, because we haven't, whenever the last time we did this, so, and then again, you were a yes, but it was based on, the yes votes were only won by 2, and it wasn't enough because it's based on assessed value of homes. And so that's why so it failed that previously. And then in the southern area of the town as well, and they even had a house that burned down just to the ground. I thought they would come back, and we never heard back from those residents again, so.
Yeah, because we didn't even think about that benefit, that
Right, for fire protection?
firefighting
Yeah,
benefit. So,
Good point.
Yeah, because, you talk to your insurance agent, you get, yeah,
Lower cost?
yeah.
All right.
So many distance from the hydrant.
Got it, yeah, that makes sense.
with this, in,
So
people
we're
get,
on ultraviolet, and we've got a softener, and an RO, and all, there's a lot of
Yeah.
parts to drinking fresh water, or clean water, I should
Yeah.
say.
we have a $5,000 system that we put in. We just moved in about 5 years ago at the Log Cabin Road.
so if you trust Dave enough, if you don't mind, well, Dave will be the point person, at least in contact. He knows a couple of these board members up here, okay? I've never seen them before, but I think.
Hey, I'll be bringing chocolate chip, homemade chocolate chip cookies next time.
Now you're going.
All right. I promise.
What are you smiling about?
I do promise that.
I'm just reading, I'm just reading.
I'm not kidding. But
There's a
thank
few,
you.
there's a few of us old enough that we knew your dad,
Yes, you do.
so.
We'll be in touch, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're
Appreciate it, guys.
Okay, let's see. Public comments. We'll start with Susie. Anyone joining us via YouTube that has a comment? Okay, we'll ask the general public if anyone has a comment for the town board.
Hello, Mark Robbins. I'm not here to present any new asks tonight, so if that's your expectation, you'll be disappointed. Last November, Lisa Roberts, myself, and several other local cycling advocates approached the town and village boards with a proposal that bike and lane signs, just over 50 of them, be purchased by the town and village and installed on 11 different roads within our town and village. All the identified roads are referred to as narrow roads and are popular bike routes connecting destinations within our town, as well as connecting destinations within our town and destinations in neighboring towns and communities. While other cycling infrastructure is almost always desirable, more desirable, such as widened shoulders and dedicated bike lanes, we, in making the proposal, we're realizing that such infrastructure changes may not always be feasible due to factors such as insufficient right-of-way and just prohibitive costs. We're here tonight to express thanks and appreciation for the support and efforts of members of our town board, our town supervisor, our town finance person, and our highway superintendent for getting the project done in a quick manner. We truly hope that the signs have the desired effect of alerting motorists to the presence of cyclists on roadways, thereby enhancing road safety, and also promote the acceptance of cyclists as users of Victor's roads. Steps that we take toward enhancing the safety of non-motorist road users help us to move forward on well-documented town goals of improving connectivity and promoting complete streets and active transportation. Just as a point of information, in the upcoming winter issue of the Victor Voice, you'll see an article submitted by CAC and the Parks and Recs director, kind of giving some of the background of the placement of the signs, how they came to be purchased, their intended purpose, and some common sense tips as to how motorists and cyclists can interact in a safe and mutually courteous manner on our roads. In another matter related to bike safety, I'd like to give a shout out to those responsible for this summer's Willis Hill Road project. The redesign has provided important additional roadway width, allowing for a well-paved shoulder of at least 3 feet, both northbound and southbound, the entire length of the road. Again, these changes will enhance the safety and comfort of cyclists on the road. So we thank you. And I also wanted to mention, had a very, very brief conversation with Mark previously, asked him about the genesis or how Willis, I was under the impression that there was insufficient right-of-way for that kind of widening of Willis Hill. I was very pleasantly surprised, and you mentioned that going forward, the town would like to, when doing all road projects, aim for a minimum lane width, usable lane width of 14 feet, which would allow 11-foot travel lane and a good 3-foot shoulder. I applaud that.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Any other residents care to address the town board?
Good evening, I'm Brian Cass. And just to start off, I do not represent or speak for the New York Citizens Audit. Just to recap, about 6 weeks ago, I brought a resolution that I wanted to ask the town board to be able to review and sign. And just as a summary, what that resolution is the New York Citizens Audit examined the New York State Board of Elections and the County Board of Elections' own records and found over 1 million felony violations of New York election law in the voter rolls that they examined. So this is just about the resolution that I asked if that could be considered at some point. Basically, the resolution is saying that the town stands in support with the concerns and remedies that the resolution presents, and implores the county legislature, the New York legislature, federal and law enforcement, and federal and state prosecutors, judges, and boards of elections to cooperate and fulfill the requests of the people, which is an end-to-end audit of the 2022 election. We're not trying to overturn anything or change any election results. We just want to know what these anomalies in the voter rolls are and have them explained. So is there any chance of getting that onto the agenda at some point?
So Brian, I have prepared and shared documents with the town board, and I know our town clerk also shared with them the New York Citizens Audit, your rebuttal, I guess, based on comments that came out of maybe the Attorney General's office as well and stuff like that. So here's where I am. And so usually there's times that I'll recommend some things to the boards, and this is one time I'm not recommending. And I've had a relationship with those, well, Mr. Northrup for 15 years and A.J. Magnan just for the last couple of years as the newest member of the newest commissioner of the Board of Elections. But in 10 years as the chairman of the board, I spent even more time with both of them. And I sat with both of them last week, and I really think certainly the efforts, yourself and other citizens that have brought individuals 100-plus years old in our county to light, some concerns there, and I think a much better job. And I also have to compliment you because, and share with the town board members that Mr. Cass has gone through the program here and will be a electioneer.
Inspector, yeah.
Starting
this coming election,
early
yeah.
voting and on election day. So I want to thank you. They brought that to my attention as well, and Mr. Magnum did as well. So I'm not recommending this. I did speak to my colleague from the town of Phelps, and he did not think, and again, I don't know if you've had any recent correspondence with them, that the town of Phelps was also not going to support with the resolution.
No problem. Great. Thanks for the
I
answer.
didn't want to keep stringing you along. You gave me probably 2 more weeks than I needed, but I wanted to share, put some documents together in both cases, and then give my own personal feelings.
Very good.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you. And again, thank you for signing up and going through the training process to be a member of the Board of Elections.
Welcome. My
Okay, are there any other public comments? Okay, board members, moving to reports of town officials. And I do want to share with you, after a pretty lengthy engineering meeting last Thursday, that in there is, you have the report, but on page 2, we think both the East Victor Road project, once our highway superintendent is satisfied with the drainage over there, and then the Willis Hill Road project, the sanitary manhole, one sanitary manhole needed to be lowered. We think both those projects will probably come off this list, but good engineering meeting, and for all of us, you know, the codes department and highway and the stormwater management, myself, I think we all find those meetings to be very beneficial. In your packet, as well as the finance report from our Director of Finance, Ontario County Humane Society, and the Parks and Rec. And if you haven't read the Parks and Rec, please feel free to reach out to it. Read it. You'll know the recreational after-school program is just exploding. But I also, on page 2, I really want to thank and recognize the trail crew from the Genesee Regional Off-Track Cyclists, also known as the GROC Group. They've done a tremendous job in really making Dreier Road Park that destination for our residents as well as visitors here as well. And then at your seat should have been the report from the town historian. And also mentioned that the have the Victor and Farmington ambulance report, Victor Fire Chief's report, traffic report. I think there's a report from the town of Farmington, their fire chief as well. I have a few other items I just wanted to share with you. I think in your packet I should have presented you with the Board of Supervisors resolution to establish the Ontario County Emergency Communication Advisory Board. The Chief Executive Officer of the Victor Ambulance Corps, Jared Palmer, will be our representative. Some great information. The Cornell Cooperative Extension, the Household Hazard Collection event. I don't know if anyone here participated in that. I haven't previously. It was held on September the 16th. But from the town of Victor, resident participation. Town of Victor had 115 residents that signed up for that. Farmington had 105 and Canandaigua 107. So altogether, it was 596 households participated county-wide. And then I wanted you to also know that I really wanted to thank Highway Superintendent Mark Ears, Keith Maynard, Bob Graham, and Kim Kinsella for their help in putting together the Ontario County Hazard Mitigation Plan. It's a plan that every 5 years has to be looked at. And we addressed a critical facility spreadsheet, filled that out, capability assessment, previous action analysis, and then the hazard ranking sheet over what kind of hazards could be an issue here within the town. So I want to thank those individuals publicly. And what else we got? I did, just so you know, I was recently down the thruway a couple of times heading east, and lo and behold, an exit 41, where you get off at Del Lago, and that wasn't where I was going, but Wilkins RV is on the right-hand side building a new RV place, so they will be vacating this town eventually. I know a realtor did sit with staff last week trying to look at what options they may have, because there is a lot of wetlands. I think it's DEC wetlands over there. It could potentially prevent, more than what's on its existing footprint. Rich O'Donnell and I took a dog park tour back on the 28th of September, and a lot of it was below ground infrastructure work being done, and but we anticipate that continue to move along. And then I also visited Heather Lane in Dreier Road Park, both on October 3rd. First of all, Dreier Road Park looks wonderful. Thank you for everyone involved. But Heather Lane was certainly, we know, former town board member Dave Tantillo was always about what are we doing from a drainage standpoint. This was a challenging one. There's no question, but we had some big boy equipment we had to lease for the day, but and again, I'm no engineer, but it really made sense. I had seen maps But seeing it firsthand and what the highway department did made a lot of sense, and I know Keith was involved with that as well. So, Mark, Highway Superintendent, well done to your team. And then lastly, I did attend a ribbon cutting ceremony earlier today with Kathy Rayburn, and it was it's called the Lakeside Podiatry, and it's over in the plaza where Verizon Wireless is, and but new, and it was actually, this was partnered with the Greater Rochester, so our former Lieutenant Governor Bob Duffy was there, and board members. Also, at your place setting, I provided you with 2 other scenarios. I gave you a map of and I'm not looking for a response today, but please get back to me. 2 things. I'm looking for, there's a sign at the Benderson Plaza up where Walmart and Kohl's is. Looking for, and I provided you with a narrative there, and then an inquiry from an attorney from Nixon Peabody that represents Verizon Wireless, looking to gauge our interest on whether or not a cell tower is appropriate in that location. So, you get a chance, feel free. You can offer input now or circle back with me at a later date. Okay? At this time, board members, you have any reports you need to share with this board? Okay. Moving to the business section, starting with resolution number 1. This is coming out of the Economic Development Office. And I do want to thank Kathy, Rich, Ed, were you part of that
Yeah.
committee as well? I want
Originally,
to
yeah.
thank the committee members. They did a lot of heavy lifting and prepping for and supporting these small businesses here.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Resolution number 1 is hereby passed. Number 2, out of the Highway Department, authorization for the purchase of 1 heavy-duty 30-yard recycling container.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
At this time, I'm going to invite a young lady to come up to the podium that was here a couple weeks ago with a couple other individuals. I think it was Rob and Rachel. And,
Yes.
Casey has 3 resolutions I'd like to introduce to this board.
Yes, so number 3 is the Climate Smart Community Pledge. And basically, the town is just pledging to not only involve and educate our community on smarter choices for clean energy, renewable energy, but kind of to adopt that for our town. It's again for greenhouse emission reductions, and for us in general to decrease energy use. And I'd like to propose, Susie and I'd like to work on a webpage to help educate the community on just things they can do to reduce emissions and to make better choices.
What I like about these, Casey, is all 3 of these don't cost us any money today.
No, they don't.
Which I really like.
And passing these will help
yeah.
us gain some money,
Exactly,
actually.
exactly. The presentation was really good last meeting, and I hope that we are the lead so that the school district follows suit.
Me too.
Because the energy costs that they spend could save the taxpayers, thousands of dollars as well, not just the town.
Just changing to LED lighting,
Right,
just
exactly.
simple things. I
Exactly.
mean, and this is not like binding and we don't have to do everything, but just, we really need to start making just small changes and that can be a big impact.
I'd like to propose that we block 3, 4, and 5, since they all are involved in energy saving.
Board members, any objection to blocking resolution 3, 4, and 5?
No.
Okay.
And just to let you all know, this unified solar permit was something the town of Victor already had adopted. So this is nothing new. It's basically a formality that we're doing just to get that, if we do all these high impact actions, we're going to get maybe some grant funding.
Casey, that's a great point, and thank you for bringing that up, and certainly you had a lot to do with that. I know when you and Rich met with Rob, that was both of you, the takeaway to me, Jack, we're doing a number of these.
We
Let's
are.
get some credit and put us down a line road where we can get some additional funding as well.
And you think about it, it just becomes an extension. You have your recycling center, right, where at the dump. You have then the bucket program, right, which is organic recycling, the compost, where we offered the compost bins for people to use. I mean, so this just becomes a logical next step from all those programs and leading into that. So, very well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
So no objection to the block?
Yeah, so Councilman Condon offered these up, so we need a second on these.
Second.
Okay, and just for the residents to know, these are three different ones. One's titled the Climate Smart Community Pledge, one is the New York Unified Solar Permit, and the other one is the Building Energy Benchmarking and Policy and Procedure. So, with that said, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, 3, 4, and 5 are gone. Human Resources, Resolution Number 6, acknowledgement of the appointment of Scott Kimball to the motor equipment operator position for the Town of Victor Highway Department.
So moved. Second.
And I just want to offer one thing. So Scott is the former highway superintendent from the town of East Bloomfield. He recently did a career change and was working for a school district, and I don't think office work was what he embraced, and the opportunity to get back behind the wheel of a truck and out on the road is something he wants. So, Mark, you're going to get some historical knowledge. You have a young crew, and he'll be a good fit for you as well. So, okay.
So moved.
Second.
Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Actually, I think Mike
Yeah.
made the motion.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
no.
I made the motion.
Yeah,
Drew made the
it
motion,
and
nice.
Mike seconded
Oh, okay.
it, so
All right.
all set.
All right.
okay, number 7, agreement to, with the Rochester Metropolitan Jazz Orchestra.
Moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And that'll be at the luncheon for the veterans on the date that I couldn't remember. Resolution number 8, request for a certificate of liability insurance for the same group.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, dog park at Harlan Fisher Park, the masonry contract award. And I do have a question. I see our our parks director is here. So Brian, we're awarding to Cooler. And I see the dollar amount, but I thought in here, not to exceed 40,000.
20,000 on each, the fall and the spring. The not to exceed is because there's a clause in the proposal, if you, that you'll note, that if the concrete is poured after November, there's an escalation that we pay.
I see, $1,200.
So I put a not to exceed, so we wouldn't have to come back to the board for such a
Okay.
small amount.
That's the only question I have. Board members have any questions for Brian? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Number 9 is passed. Number 10, again, this is setting the public hearing for the 2023 special assessment roll, and again, sewer district, water district, and lighting districts, and that'll be on the 23rd at 7 PM.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 11, setting the public hearing for the town 2024 budget. Same evening on the 23rd, 7 PM. And I just want the board members to be aware, if you heard it right now, on the 23rd, you have 2 public hearings we set previously for East Mall. One is for the assessment we just did, the town budget, and then 7200 Rawson Road. Eat dinner before.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All those, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
And final one is letter of credit for Dorchester Park Phase 2, Section 2.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Public comment. Suzie? Public. Okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Ready to read that back to me now? Yeah.